This is the journey to be faster by 50. "32 weeks to go in the training. This is week 1 complete. I only ran outside one day. I did one 5-mile run. I did play hockey 2 days a week. I did do zone 2 training, one treadmill incline walk, and 2 times I did 1 hour on the bike. That's kind of been the training so far this week. We're going to dive in more as it starts to warm up. Based here in Minnesota, it is icy and cold. I did run outside this morning and it was 2 degrees. Got 5 miles in, felt great when I was done. The overall goal for my training over the next 6 weeks, which will take us to the end of March, is to do 2 days of zone 2, 1 hour plus zone 2, 1 day of hill workouts, and 1 day of interval training each week. In addition, 3 days in the gym. So this past week, I had 3 days of zone 2 and 1 long run, 1 5-mile run for a long run right now. That too was supposed to be zone 2, but I am so out of shape. I think my average heart rate was like 170 for that 5-miler. We got to get back in shape, and now starts the build. So, did I slack this week? A little bit, just getting over a cold and ready to go. '26 training, getting ready for the race. I was doing a much better job of running at least a couple days a week, getting out and getting some runs in this winter. And we went to Arizona and I got to run every day. It was beautiful. But got back from Arizona on a Thursday, and by Friday it was -20, and it stayed that way for 2 weeks. I got a cold. I had a ton of work to do. I basically did not go outside and run for 3 weeks. I did do some like zone 2 bike rides on the trainer in the garage. I'm sitting here on the bike and I'm thinking about my goals, and I'm thinking about why I run as I'm pedaling away on the bike here in the garage in the morning instead of being out running. It's 14 degrees outside and 30-mile-an-hour winds. And then I think, have I become a wimp? There's zero desire to go run outside. So at least I'm getting some work in, right? I don't know. Is this actually helping my running? Is it just an excuse to not? I barely even walked on the treadmill. After an hour on the bike, I got super bored. I really slacked. And then February came and it was not much better. Did not get out a ton. We took another trip that was snowboarding and some hiking. So it was great to get out and do that. I still did not really run. I was running randomly here and there. So it's time to get back into training, time to get back into regularly running. Also, my heart rate has been terrible. My runs have not been good. We've had a couple of beautiful days and I have felt terrible. I don't know if there's anything worse than being excited for a run on the nicest day of the year so far, and then coming out and feeling absolutely terrible. We'll see what's up with that as we train. We'll see if the heart rate gets better. We'll see if my heart rate is just that bad, or if Garmin's that bad, or both. We'll really get rolling next week. 30 weeks to go. That will leave 29 till the race. Coming up in April 18th, I have like 5 weeks to train for a 15K trail run. That one is just a practice race, just to get outside, a reason to keep training. Lots of elevation on that one. Very, very steep hill. So it will be good to see where we're at when we go to the Storm the Park in Whitewater State Park, April 18th. So the next couple weeks are kind of, let's get my feet under me, get my heart rate back down, get running. But so far, we're off to a rough start. We'll see where we go from here. The run by the numbers, 2.87 miles, 28:14 for time, pace 9:49. Was supposed to be a zone 2 run, but according to the watch, 164 average heart rate to 189 max. That is not zone 2. My training plan today called for a long, easy run of 4 to 6 miles, and I chose to go on the lower end. I think I did 4.5, and I did not do it as an easy run. I did it as a tempo run, more like a threshold run. Some thoughts on my morning run. Let's see. Saturday, it's supposed to be a 4 to 6 mile easy run. I got a lot going on. So I'm going toward the lower end, and as you can hear, I'm not keeping it easy. Yeah. Here's the thing though. I modified my training plan every day this week. That means I'm not going to get the results that I should expect. So I gotta find a training plan that works for my new schedule. I don't have a problem with changing the training plan. I do have a problem with the fact that I have changed the training plan every day this week. I gotta stop doing that. I'm not gonna get the results I want if I change every single day of the training plan. With the variable weather that March brings, I have been flexible in my training times. There's many times that I then wait too long and have to cut part of my training, or I have to run that faster, or it's not a good training because I didn't get a good warm-up because I was racing out the door because I need to do this next thing. And I always have to train on my own because there aren't too many other people that I can text at 1:55 and say, hey, I'm going for a 2 o'clock run. And so I need to get back to running with a few people. So that means actually planning runs. I cannot stand running on a schedule, but I was thinking about it on my run today. I need to get back into running on a schedule. We got 29 weeks, I think, until race day. 5 weeks until Storm the Park race, 15K. April 18th. I have zero expectations for it. I do want to be able to run 10 miles before that. So I have had a couple 5-mile runs in the last week. We're going to bump up to 6 to 7 miles next weekend, and then hopefully be in that 8 to 9 miles the weekend after that. I'll be coming real close to 10 heading into the race. The other thing for that race is there is a ton of elevation. So I do need to get at least a couple days of hill training in. That's on tap this week, as well as hockey is done now. This was the last week of hockey for me. So I need to figure out an actual training plan for my next 2 races. I need to figure out the 5-week plan, getting ready for Storm the Park, which I have 10 days of a road trip to go visit my son out in North Carolina. So a couple of those days are like 12 to 14 hours of driving. I'm gonna have to figure out how we're gonna get our training in over those 2 weeks. But that's to be figured out later. 5 weeks to that, 30 weeks to the main race. I can say the progress over the last 2 weeks has felt way better. My run felt pretty good today. Especially at this age. And the big difference I'm noticing is I have to pay attention to mobility. I work at a desk too much. I lean into my mouse. I lean into my desk. I get this right tilt. I get these tight hip flexors. My hamstrings hurt. If I even stand up occasionally and stretch that out, make sure I warm that up before I run, it's really not a big deal. So it's still a big deal, but my runs feel a whole lot better. So that's just a good reminder for myself. I don't know if I have any other thoughts. All right, we'll see what happens next week. All right, got 29 weeks until race day. And man, what a difference a week makes. I thought last week was nice, but holy cow, today, shorts, t-shirt, 70 degrees, March in Minnesota. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely glorious summer day out here. Running is coming along. I actually felt really good today. My long run was still only 5 miles, but felt great doing it. One super frustration though has been the wrist-based sensors for heart rate is so horrible. And I really, really want to do some more zone 2 training and working on that. So I've just been doing it by feel. But man, when you run and you look down and your heart rate on your watch says 175 and you feel super relaxed, it's frustrating. And then you start questioning yourself. Yeah, you start questioning how fit you actually are and how you feel. So I felt good today. And I really think the difference is getting out and running more now that it's nicer. The hockey training is great from a sprint perspective. I'd say a general fitness perspective. Being out on the hockey rink certainly helps. It's a completely different movement from running, and it's a completely different energy system. So underestimate how long it's going to take to get back into running shape, and that can be frustrating. This week though, hit all our training, even did an extra run. Right now it's super easy. My regular runs through the week are 3 miles-ish, and my long run is 5, so it's not taking a ton of time. It's not super hard, but we'll start ramping those up because we're only like 4 weeks from my first race of the year, and that one is going to take some work. That's 10 miles, 15K in Whitewater State Park with some elevation. So we are going to have to add some hills in soon, but I'm encouraged by where we're getting to this week. So we'll see what happens. 29 weeks to go. Beautiful day now. It's supposed to be under 40 degrees tomorrow though, so glad we got the run in today. I think that's everything. Yeah, that feels good.